News 3 This Morning starts right now.
Officers shot on duty. A Virginia Beach neighborhood on lockdown and a barricade ending hours later. New this morning, what we are learning about the man dragged away in handcuffs.
Plus, Virginian voters have spoken the party candidate selected for this year's governor's race.
Warm to start your day, but we're tracking the threat of storms when the showers and more will move in. Coming up in the First Morning Storm Team forecast, it's 5 o'clock. Thanks for waking up with News 3 on this Wednesday morning. I'm Blaine Stewart.
And I'm Jessica Larche. Let's get a check outside to start your Wednesday with meteorologist Miles Henderson in the Elephant Insurance First Warning Weather Center. A muggy start to the day.
Yeah, this morning starting just like our past couple of mornings. We have some warm temperatures. We have some high humidity out there, just feeling like a very muggy start.
5:02 and new this morning while you were sleeping. 14 people forced from their homes because of a fire. Here's a look at the pictures from the Suffolk Fire Department just before 2 o'clock this morning. This happened on Pinner Street, and it took firefighters about 40 minutes to get everything under control. This morning, we know no one was hurt, but 4 adults and 10 kids had to be forced out, and this morning they are looking for a new place to stay. Virginia Beach police officers are covering this morning after being shot multiple times. This is breaking on News 3 all morning yesterday morning. And now we're learning more about the man accused of shooting that police officer.
Erica Greenway has the new details this morning.
Police say 46-year-old Brian Cage shot that officer while officers were serving a search warrant at his house. Neighbors took this picture of him being taken into custody after that standoff with police that lasted for hours. According to police, this all started around 6:30 yesterday morning when they went to the suspect's home on Ohio Avenue to execute a search warrant for distribution of child pornography. While entering the house, police say Cage started shooting and hit an officer multiple times. He then barricaded himself inside the home. That officer had surgery yesterday and is now recovering.
An inch either way would have been a totally different outcome.
Prayers go out to the officer that was injured and wounded for our protection. I just pray that he have a full recovery.
2 other officers were also injured. Police have not said what caused their injuries, but say they are minor. Cage is facing several charges this morning, including attempted capital murder. He's being held without bond.
And this morning, 3 men are in custody after a police officer was shot in Hampton. Authorities arrested Alan Ralph, James Gregory, and Leonard Morrison. This happened Monday in the parking lot of the AMC Theater after a robbery at the GameStop. Police say it was Morrison who shot one of the officers. According to detectives, the officer was trying to take him into custody when Morrison was able to gain control of the officer's gun. That officer was treated and released from the hospital. We're told police are also investigating links between the suspects and other crimes in Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, including a robbery at a GameStop in Chesapeake earlier that day.
Well, later today, the trial is set to start for a youth pastor charged with sex crimes.
It's a story News 3 has followed since the beginning. Our Rachel Carden outside the courthouse this morning with what we can expect in court today.
Well, Jess and Blaine, like you mentioned, that Rachel Carden, News 3.
Rachel, thank you. It's now 5:06. Primary election results are in and a surprisingly close finish to report in the Republican race for governor of Virginia. Former RNC Chairman Ed Gillespie projected as the winner in the race with just about all the votes counted now. Gillespie leads rival Corey Stewart by more than 4,000 votes. State Senator Frank Wagner came in a distant third. Gillespie addressed supporters late last night.
And I am so proud of the positive, ideas-driven, solution-oriented campaign we are waging and have waged and will wage in this campaign.
And now to the Democrats. Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam defeated former Congressman Tom Perriello to win that party's nomination. Northam winning 56% of the vote to Perriello's 44%. Both Northam and Perriello are now talking about party unity heading into November's general election.
I want to tell all of those folks that supported Tom, I will do everything that I can in the upcoming days, weeks, and months to gain your support. We're all in this together. We're going to win. Not only are we going to win the governor's race, the attorney general, and the lieutenant governor, but as I said earlier, we're going to take back the House of Delegates finally.
And I know that we will work together as a party and as movements to ensure basic economic fairness and decency is a reality here across the Commonwealth of Virginia.
So much more election coverage, including other races. You can see results from across Hampton Roads right now on the main page of WTKR.com.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions' Senate testimony may have created more questions than answers this morning. He faced a contentious Senate Intelligence Committee grilling him on Russian interference in last year's presidential election. For 2.5 hours, the committee asked Sessions for specifics. But Sessions said since he recused himself from the Russia investigation, he has not received any briefing on Russian interference with the presidential election.
I have never met with or had any conversation with any Russians or any foreign officials concerning any type of interference with any campaign or election in the United States.
Sessions also testified that he recommended firing James Comey because he said the FBI needed a fresh start.
Big story we're tracking for you new this morning at 5:09. UVA student Otto Warmbier is now back in the United States after being detained in North Korea. You're looking at video just in of his flight arriving in Ohio overnight. Now, his parents say he has been in a coma for more than a year, but officials just learned about his condition last week. Warmbier's been in custody since January of 2016 after North Korean authorities say they had security footage of him trying to steal a political banner. He's been rushed to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center for treatment.
It is 5:09 now on your Wednesday morning. Let's get you a first check of the morning drive with Kristen Crowley and First Warning Traffic.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, if you're getting ready to head out right now, really not bad out there.
5:10 now. A warning before you fill up your gas tank this morning. A new breed of card skimmers found in Norfolk are giving scammers access to your money.
Coming up next on News 3 this morning, why old advice to keep you protected is not working anymore, and the new technology that puts you at an even greater risk. And a live look outside right now. This is the News 3 Skycam. Downtown Norfolk with the scope of the Wells Fargo building. It is going to be a muggy start to your day. Track just how hot it'll be and when the threat of storms arrives. Coming up in the News 3 First Warning Storm Team Forecast. It's 5:11. Good morning.
Every day has at least a chance. You could see a shower or thunderstorm mix in. For the weekend, looking at a 40% chance Saturday, 30% chance for Father's Day.
All right, time now 5:17. If you've gotten gas recently, you may want to check your bank or card statements. Norfolk police confirmed with News 3 card skimmers have been found at downtown area gas stations. This after an estimated 300,000 people were expected to attend Harborfest, making those folks potentially vulnerable. But it can happen to anyone. I know this personally, since a majority of people use cards to pay for gas. Well, News 3 discovered more than $15,000 in fraudulent charges after filling up our own News 3 vehicles at these local gas stations. Even my debit card had been duplicated and used in another state. And, I was upset about this because I do what, you always do. You jingle the thing to make sure it doesn't come off of the card reader. But let me tell you how this is happening. We've all heard that advice, jiggle the card reader at the gas pump, but if it's loose, there could be a card skimmer attached, but it is not that simple anymore. Scammers are using a new technology to take your money. Now let's tell you about this in Fairfax County, where police have found a number of Bluetooth connected skimmers. They are hidden deep inside the gas pump wires. And there's also this new report out of Canada shared by the Better Business Bureau that says that there are these new micro skimmers they are calling shimmers. They're about the size of a dime, and these chips fit inside the card reader and they can be installed really quickly. You don't even know they're there until your card feels sticky on the way out. Both of these devices can access your PIN number. So here is how to protect yourself. Use a credit card and not a debit card that needs a PIN. That makes getting reimbursed a lot easier. Avoid older gas pumps. Those are easier to break into. And check your bank and credit card statements regularly for any strange activity.
So I've been out for a week. That's my gas station too. I'm checking the account right now.
Yep.
Okay. 5:19 for you. News 3 is taking action for women's health this morning, making sure you're able to get screened for breast cancer. The next stop for the mobile mammogram unit is this Friday. They're back at Carolina Surgical Care. That's on North Road Street in Elizabeth City from 9 in the morning until 5 in the evening. Women 40 and over can make an appointment for their annual screening mammogram at most of the scheduled locations. Usually only takes about 20 minutes. WTKR.com for more info. We have some exciting news for you. Listen up. The next season of Survivor will include a Hampton University assistant professor. Dr. Desiree Williams, one of the 18 cast members featured in season 35 of the show. taking place in Fiji. Not a bad place to be stranded, right? She'll be a member of the Soko tribe, known as the Healers. Right now, Williams teaches physical therapy at HU and works as a physical therapist. Season 35 of Survivor set to air this fall, only a couple months away, right here on News 3. Wishing her the best.
Yeah, we've had her on the morning show, and she's really excited about this. So wishing her some luck. 5:20 on your Wednesday morning. A decades-long ban from NASA has been lifted. Coming up on News 3, what astronauts can soon bring for lunch on the International Space Station, and the reason it was banned in the first place.
News 3 proud to honor our American heroes every morning. Today it is Electronics Systems Technician Second Class Gina Etienne. Here she is assigned to the USS Ross, forward deployed to Spain right now. From all of us at News 3, we say thank you for your service. Hi, Miles.
Good morning. Taking a look at the weather where you work at Naval Station Norfolk. Seeing some clouds in the mix this morning. Another warm and muggy start to the day. 74 degrees. Southwest winds still bringing in that heat and humidity. We'll talk about the hot weather again for today. Our chance for storms and the cool down coming up.
Good morning, I am Adam Winkler, and this is Sports in 60 Seconds.
So, Kristen, this is going to be one of those days where you should probably bring the sunglasses and the umbrella. You'll need the sunglasses this morning, umbrella this afternoon.
So be prepared. Just grab everything.
Bring everything.
This
Put it in the car.
All right. Well, if you're getting ready to head out, though, it's not any problems on the roads that you need to know about. It's one of those mornings. We're starting off early. We're starting off great. We're not seeing the backups and delays. Everybody should have a pretty smooth drive.
This item has been banned from space for more than 5 decades. Now, NASA says they're lifting that restriction.
I was really surprised about this. Soon, astronauts will be able to enjoy bread.
Wait, what?
They've been watching carbs. NASA is ending a 52-year ban on bread inside the International Space Station.
So here's what happened. That ban went into effect after 2 astronauts smuggled sandwiches on board in the 1960s. And the crumbs, they got everywhere.
Well, now a German space company called Bake in Space says that's not a problem anymore. They are developing space-friendly, crumb-free bread.
I thought bacon space was a totally different business, but I guess not. Forget about space. We need that kind of bread here on Earth, though. No crumbs, maybe no carbs.
Yeah, if they can figure out to take the carbs out.
5:28 right now.
All right, video game lovers, you're going to want to stay tuned for this. Coming up on News 3 this morning, an inside look at the trailblazing conference for developers, and the new game is about to hit the shelves.
WTKR News 3. News 3 this morning starts right now.
Flames shoot out of a high-rise apartment building in London overnight. Several confirmed dead already. The search underway right now for victims and the charred remains. We're monitoring the up-to-the-minute developments as you wake up.
Inmates on the run, their violent escape from prison custody.
And don't sweat it, cooling relief is on the way. Unfortunately, it comes with a side of storms. We're tracking the system as it rolls in. It is 5:31 on your Wednesday morning. Thanks for starting your day with us here at News 3. I'm Jessica Larche.
I'm Blaine Stewart. I've been...
We will talk about a cool down for tomorrow coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, it's 5:33, and a big story we're tracking for later today. A trial is set to begin for a youth pastor charged with sex crimes.
It's a story News 3 has followed since the beginning, and we have our Rachel Cardin outside of the courthouse this morning. So, Rachel, what can we expect to happen in court today?
Well, Jess, the trial starts today, but Jeffrey Bondi will walk in from the community instead of walking in from Virginia Beach. I'm Rachel Cardin, News 3.
It is 5:35, a developing story this morning. Right now, firefighters in Britain are desperately trying to find people who may still be trapped inside a London high-rise that caught fire overnight.
Big story we're watching here. It's already claimed a number of lives. At least 50 people are being treated in hospitals in that area. Let's bring in Erica Greenway with an update on what's happening. Do we have any idea on how this all started?
Yes, that's something that they're still looking into at this point. This is a live look from that scene. That fire is under control, but you can see smoke still coming from that 24-story building. Firefighters frantically trying to find anyone still inside, but now there are also fears that building could collapse. The massive fire at the Grenfell apartment building broke shortly before 1 a.m., quickly spreading from floor to floor. The city's fire commissioner says firefighters arrived on the scene within 6 minutes, but were not able to save some of those who couldn't get out. There is no word yet on how many people have died in this fire, and it's also unknown how many people may still be inside.
It was horrific because I saw families screaming, and people on the edge. It looked like they wanted to jump out.
I'm not even sure if half of them got out, to be honest with you. There was kids at the window, there was people flashing their phone lights just for help.
The Grenfell Tower had recently undergone a multi-million-dollar facelift with many of the 120 apartments outfitted with new windows. It's unclear if the fixes played a role in starting the fire. And a website run by the Grenfell Action Group also said residents of that tower had expressed concerns over the safety of the building, specifically pointing to fire risks. But fire chiefs say it is too early to speculate on the cause of the blaze.
It is 5:37 right now. There's a big manhunt underway for 2 escaped prison inmates wanted in the murder of 2 corrections officers. Happened on a transport bus in East Georgia. Authorities say Donnie Russell Rowe and Ricky Dubose are being taken from one prison to another with 31 fellow inmates. Well, somehow the 2 men overpowered the guards, taking their weapons and killing them. They then carjacked another vehicle behind the transport bus.
I saw 2 brutally murdered corrections officers. That's what I saw. I have their blood on my shoes.
Sheriff of Putnam County, Georgia there. Rowe was serving up to life for armed robbery and aggravated assault. The other guy, Dubose, was in prison for 20 years on charges of armed robbery, aggravated assault, and theft. Right now, there is a $60,000 reward for information leading to their capture.
5:38 now. President Trump is reportedly considering firing the special prosecutor overseeing the Russia investigation. But the only man with the authority to do so says he does not see any evidence for the firing. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein said during a Senate hearing that there is a lack of good cause to fire Robert Mueller. President Trump is said to be unhappy with the makeup of Mueller's investigative team. Now at 5:38 on your Wednesday morning, let's get you an update on the morning drive. Here is Kristen Crowley in First Morning Traffic.
Thanks, Jess. If you are heading out...
5:39 right now.
Well, E3 is a yearly event gamers just can't wait for. It's when video game companies show off their latest hardware and games. Well, normally only industry insiders and journalists are allowed in, but this year the public could attend.
And that means you. Rich DeMuro takes us inside in today's TechSmart Reports.
Yes, you do.
Get you up and moving,
What
right?
dance was that?
It was called the Spastic. Patented. Don't try it at home. 5:41. Selfies are putting you in danger.
Coming up on News 3 this morning, the new warning from doctors that may make you think rethinking posing with the duck face.
I just duck-faced the other day.
Be a washout every single day.
The
Notice the
weatherman
numbers.
said it's going to rain every
30,
day.
40, 50% chance. So we're talking scattered showers and thunderstorms. There's a chance, yes. Are you guaranteed to see rain every day? No.
All right. Miles is setting us straight before we even get there.
All I saw was rain every day. All right, Hampton Roads to New York. It's time for Money Matters at 5:48.
Maribel Labor has a look at the stocks you care about right here in Hampton Roads. Happy Wednesday.
Taking action for your health. Snapping a selfie may come with an unwanted side effect. Triggering seizure-like activity in people with epilepsy. Well, this is big. It's called selfie epilepsy. Researchers studied a teen who exhibited unusual spikes in the brain after using her cell phone to take a selfie with both the flash and the red eye reduction in a dimly lit room. Doctors concluded the teen likely had a photosensitivity response to the selfie. People with photosensitive epilepsy are known to have seizures that are provoked by flashing or flickering lights.
Wow. All right, so a heads up there. 5:50 now. If your kids don't want to eat their broccoli, try giving the vegetables an interesting name. A team at Stanford University tested different names for healthy foods in the university cafeteria. Plainly labeled carrots were okay. Health positive labels like Smart Choice Vitamin C carrots were less popular, but the twisted citrus glazed carrots were at least 25% more likely to end up on someone's plate because, you know.
Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, got a little nice glaze.
I was talking with my mom about this over the weekend. As a kid, my family for years fed me round French fries, which it turned out were just eggplant rings.
That's good.
Yeah, they were good too.
Got your veggies in. All right, 5:51 now. A father-daughter duo taking action to help others.
The tragedy that inspired their good deed and the safety movement they hope to pass on. But first, here's Miles.
All right, so we're going to try the vegetable trick here. It's the atmospheric adventure where you earn stacks on stacks of cash. Does that make it any better?
Maybe, yeah.
It's the weather where you work. At Fort Eustis, 73 degrees this morning with the sunshine and west wind at just 3 miles per hour. We're talking heat, humidity, and our chance for storms today. coming up.
How is that guy single?
Not at the beach area or through Chesapeake, but we'll keep watching for those backups and delays.
Hey there. So a dad and daughter team are teaming up to take action to save lives after a recent drowning inspired them to help. Olivia Ray installed a wooden rack with 4 life vests and a life preserver over the weekend. It's built on the same Illinois dock where Malik Williams died last week. The dad drowned trying to save his 6-year-old son who was struggling to stay afloat. So Ray and her dad never met Williams, but they invested their own money to try and prevent a similar tragedy.
Malik's life was it's priceless. So something like this could hopefully help someone in the future, and I hope they use them.
The college student hopes her idea inspires more life jacket stations. Wow.
A worthy cause. Glad to see them working for that.
Yeah. All right, time now, 5:56. So are you maybe procrastinating on Father's Day gifts?
I know a lot of us are. Coming up, we're here to help you out. The last-minute gift ideas Dad won't suspect.
Live from WTKR News 3. News 3 This Morning starts right now.
A Senate grilling on Capitol Hill, but did Attorney General Jeff Sessions get burned? What we've learned from his testimony about the Russia investigation.
Settlement reached how much Rolling Stone needs to pay UVA for a story deemed fabricated.
Warm to start your day, and we are tracking the threat of storms. When that rain could move in coming up. And your exclusive first warning storm team forecast. We made it to 6 o'clock now this Wednesday morning. We're glad you're starting your day with us here at News 3. I'm Blaine Stewart.
And I'm Jessica Larson.
Our threat for severe thunderstorms today. And talk about a little relief from the heat coming up.
It is 6:03, and later today, the trial is set to begin for a youth pastor charged with a sex crime.
It's a story we've followed at News 3 since the beginning. Rachel Cardin is outside the courthouse right now. So what are we expecting to happen today, Rachel?
Well, Blaine and Jessica, like you said, we have been following this and all of the developments very closely since the charges came out in January. Live in Virginia Beach, I'm Rachel Cardin, News 3.
People are talking about that big day on Capitol Hill. Attorney General Jeff Sessions testifying yesterday before the Senate Intelligence Committee.
Senators grilled him about the investigation into Russian interference in last year's presidential election. Erica Greenway has a closer look at what happened during that hearing.
Well, during 2.5 hours of testimony, Attorney General Jeff Sessions insisted he has not had any inappropriate contact with Russians or interfered with the investigation. It was an emotional, often combative hearing. Sessions called claims that he helped or even knew about collusion with Russian officials to interfere with the elections an appalling and detestable lie, and angered Democratic senators by refusing to answer questions about any private conversations he held with President Trump. Members of the Senate Intelligence Committee also grilled Sessions about what former FBI Director James Comey insinuated during his testimony.
Mr. Comey said that there were matters with respect to the recusal that were problematic and he couldn't talk about them. What are they?
Why don't you tell me? They are none, Senator Wyden.
When focus briefly turned to talks that President Trump is considering firing Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller, who is now leading the Russian investigation, Sessions insisted he would have no role in his dismissal, saying he did not think it would be appropriate for him to do so.
It is 6:06 and new this morning. Rolling Stone magazine has now agreed to pay more than $1.5 million to settle a lawsuit about a rape story. The magazine will give the money to a University of Virginia fraternity. That frat was at the center of a now discredited and retracted story about an on-campus rape. A review by the Columbia School of Journalism said Rolling Stone failed to adhere to basic principles of journalism.
At 6:07, developing this morning, Bill Cosby could be in for another long day of waiting. After more than 16 hours of debating Cosby's fate, a jury has still not reached a verdict. They were weighing testimony and evidence surrounding the alleged sex assault of a former Temple University employee at Cosby's home in 2004. He claims the encounter was consensual. Cosby could get a maximum jail term of 30 years in prison if convicted on all charges.
First thing that you guys probably want to know, Mr. Cosby is doing good. His spirits are up. He's confident that this jury is they're intelligent. They're asking the right questions, and he feels confident that they're going to come back and make the right decision.
The jury is made up of 5 women and 7 men. Deliberations will resume later this morning.
A singer and social media star popular with young teens will appear in court today on child pornography charges. Prosecutors say 24-year-old YouTuber Austin Jones used Facebook to ask teenage girls to make sexually explicit videos and send them to him. Jones has more than 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. He was arrested this week at O'Hare Airport in Chicago. This morning, his attorneys are expected to ask for bond to be set, but prosecutors say he is a flight risk.
An innocent stash of sweet treats was anything but. Texas police say these lollipops are actually laced with meth. 600 pounds worth of the drugs were found in a Houston home on Monday. The design of the lollipops is raising concerns because they were being marketed to kids. They have a street value of almost $1 million.
6:08 our time. Let's get you off to work on time. Kristen Crowley with First Warning Traffic. How's the look out there?
You know, not bad. Overall, just a couple of slowdowns that you need to know about.
Well, today we are honoring the American flag. Today marks the 240th anniversary of the official adoption of the Stars and Stripes by the Continental Congress back in 1777.
It's a grand old flag, isn't it? The Great Bridge Daughters of the American Revolution and the MacArthur Memorial will host a Flag Day ceremony in the Memorial's Rotunda today. It starts at noon, ends at 1. It is free and open to everyone. Nice little thing to do if you're downtown on your lunch break.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, it is 6:10 on your Wednesday morning. Father's Day is this weekend. Are you ready?
Oh, boy. Coming up, we're here to help you out. Last-minute gift ideas that Dad great for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Got to fire up the grill, right? So it is this weekend, and if you don't have a gift yet for Dad, don't worry.
Mackenzie Walter with us this morning. She has some last-minute treats for Dad, so help us out.
I got you covered, you guys. That's right. We want Dad to feel special this weekend. We went to MacArthur Center. We talked to our friend Karen. I asked her for a few last-minute ideas, and I asked her what dads are kind of sick of getting on Father's Day.
Karen.
Yes, she always knows. Yes. So I think those were some really good ideas.
I'm taking notes on all that.
Yes.
Did they come with rush shipping?
Right. Let's hope.
Another hot gift idea. A lot of people are getting drones or asking for drones. They can be pricey, but you don't have to go big. We got our hands on an indoor drone to test out. Watch this. Yeah, that's in our next door. That's the Fusion House Racer. I tried it out. Let me tell you, it is way harder than it looks to fly a drone.
Is it trying to attack you?
Well, yeah. I didn't know what I was doing. The basic controls are pretty basic. You see what happened, though. Crash after crash after crash. There's a camera on the drone that can record your flights, but I broke that, too.
Oh, no.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Let's look at that point of view. So this is on the drone. I still couldn't fly it, though. We ended up breaking a couple of the blades, knocked the lens off of the thing.
Man down.
So that's about all the footage we got. This sells for about $180. Thankfully for us, it was free.
Oh, well, you know, practice makes perfect, so.
I think a lot of practice for some of these.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Coming up next on News 3 this morning, a local baseball player getting a big-time deal. We're going to check out where ODU's Zach Rutherford is headed for the big leagues.
But first, Miles Henderson has the weather where you work.
And taking a look this morning at Langley Air Force Base, you see the sunshine this morning, 72 degrees. It's it is a muggy morning. Another hot day today, but we do have some showers and thunderstorms that'll fire up this afternoon. Great day.
All right, 6:24, this just into the News 3 newsroom. Police in Norfolk right now at the corner of Indian River Road and Campostella Road. They're on the scene of an accident where a person was hit. So we have a picture we're showing you right now from our crew at that location. We're told this happened around 3:30 this morning in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven. That's right across from that McDonald's in Indian River. Police tell us a man was hit, rushed to Sincera Norfolk General Hospital. And right now we are working to learn more about how he is doing. Now at 6:24, let's get a weather update. Miles Henderson with that.
And if anything else pops up.
Okay, 6:26. A lot of people talking about this one online today. A news helicopter crew in Chicago getting video of an amazing rescue.
Yeah, take a look at this. This dog was just trying to take a drink out of Lake Michigan, but leaned a little too far over and tumbled inside. The dog struggled to get back on the concrete, but just couldn't get a grip.
Oh, so an officer who was responding to a nearby car crash rushed over to help the pup. Dog appears to be a stray.
Wow, don't worry, he's going to a shelter, and if nobody claims him, the officer who rescued him says he might adopt him.
Oh, talk about right place at the right
Yeah,
time.
moved quickly to get him out of that.
All right, it's 6:27 is our time now.
Coming up in the next 30 minutes of all local news on News 3, spray paint splattered across cars in a local neighborhood. Where it happened and what neighbors are saying about the vandalism.
Officers shot on duty, a Virginia Beach neighborhood on lockdown, and a barricade ending hours later. What we're learning this morning about the man dragged away in handcuffs.
Plus, Virginia voters speak. Their party candidates selected for this year's governor's race.
And don't sweat it, cooling relief is on the way. Unfortunately, it comes with a side of storms. We're tracking the system as it rolls in. It is 6:30 on your Wednesday morning, and we are halfway through the work week. I'm Jessica.
A little bit of a relief from the heat coming up.
Time now 6:33, and this just into the News 3 newsroom. Norfolk police are at the intersection of Indian River Road and Compostela Road for an accident where they say someone was hit. And just moments ago, we were told that the injuries are life-threatening. Right now, you're looking at a picture that our crew sent from that location. We're told this happened just about 3 hours ago in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven there on Indian River Road. Police tell us the man hit has been taken to Centera Norfolk General Hospital.
New this morning while you were sleeping, 14 people forced from their homes. This fire happened. Pictures coming in from Suffolk. The fire department tells us this happened around 2 o'clock on Pinner Street, and it took firefighters about 40 minutes to get everything under control. We do know nobody was hurt, but 4 adults and 10 kids were forced out and now have to find a new place to stay. Well, later today, the trial set to begin for a youth pastor charged with sex crimes.
It's a story that News 3 has followed since the very beginning. Our Rachel Cardin outside of the courthouse this morning. So, Rachel, what can we expect to happen today?
Well, Blaine and Jess, developments from inside the courtroom. Live in Virginia Beach, I'm Rachel Cardin, News 3.
Time now 6:35. A Virginia Beach police officer is recovering this morning after being shot multiple times. Police say 46-year-old Brian Cage shot that officer while they served a search warrant at his home. Neighbors took this picture of him being taken into custody after a standoff with police that lasted for hours. According to police, this all started around 6:30 yesterday morning when they went to that suspect's home on Ohio Avenue to execute a search warrant for distribution of child pornography. While entering the house, police say Cage started shooting and hit an officer multiple times. He then barricaded himself inside that home. The officer had surgery yesterday and is now recovering.
An inch either way would have been a totally different outcome.
Prayers go out to the officer that was injured and wounded for our protection. I just pray that he have a full recovery.
Well, 2 other officers were also injured. Police have not said what caused their injuries, but they say they are minor. Cage is now facing several charges this morning, including attempted capital murder. He's being held without bond. At 6:36 this morning, 3 men are in custody after a police officer was shot in Hampton. Authorities arrested Alan Ralph, James Gregory, and Leonard Morrison. This happened Monday in the parking lot of the AMC Theater after a robbery at a GameStop. Police say it was Morrison who shot one of the officers. According to detectives, the officer was trying to take him into custody when Morrison was able to get control of that officer's gun. We know the officer has been treated and released from the hospital. We're told police are also investigating any links between these suspects and other crimes in Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, including a robbery at another GameStop in Chesapeake earlier that day.
Primary election results are in and a surprisingly close finish in Virginia in the Republican race for governor. Former RNC Chairman Ed Gillespie projected to win that race with just about all the votes in, 99%. Gillespie leads Corey Stewart by more than 4,000 votes. Frank Wagner, state senator, coming in a distant third. Gillespie addressed his supporters late last night.
And I am so proud of the positive, ideas-driven, solution-oriented campaign we are waging and have waged and will wage in this campaign.
All right, now to the Democratic side, Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam beating his challenger, Congressman Tom Perriello, winning that party's nomination. Northam getting 56% of the vote in. Perriello's 44%. Both Northam and Perriello now talking about unity heading into November's general election.
I want to tell all of those folks that supported Tom, I will do everything that I can in the upcoming days, weeks, and months to gain your support. We're all in this together. We're going to win. Not only are we going to win the governor's race, the attorney general and the lieutenant governor, but as I said earlier, we're going to take back the House of Delegates finally.
And I know that we will work together as a party and as movements to ensure basic economic fairness and decency is a reality here across the Commonwealth of Virginia.
We have much more on our election coverage. Races from all across Hampton Roads on WTKR.com right there on the main page.
Well, the search is on for vandals who are targeting cars in one Virginia Beach neighborhood. This happened either late Monday night or early yesterday morning in the Brigadoon section of the city. Some people living along Albright Drive tell News 3 that they woke up to see pink spray paint splattered across their cars. Some of the images we had to blur because of their offensive content.
Kind of shook my head and go, you know, we don't have this happen very often, but, you know, kids and young adults sometimes do behave badly, and it happens. So we'll live with it.
Well, neighbors have told police about all this. If you know anything, take action and call police.
6:39. Let's get you to work on time. Kristen Crowley has first warning traffic. A couple of hot spots out there.
Yeah, and it's everything kind of predictable.
A warning for you before you fill up your gas tank this morning. A new breed of car skimmers found in Norfolk, giving scammers access to your money.
Here they go again, and coming up next on News 3, why the old advice to keep you protected won't work anymore. The new technology putting you at a greater risk.
30% chance on Sunday.
It's 6:47. 2 people in the hospital this morning with serious injuries after a school bus crash in Virginia Beach. Police tell us a car and a school bus collided around 3:30 yesterday afternoon on Witch Duck Road near Aragona Boulevard. A school spokesperson telling News 3 29 students were on the bus coming from the Bayside 6th grade campus. 4 of them had to go to the hospital, but we're told none of the kids were seriously hurt. A mom whose son was on the bus says getting that call from her little one was scary.
He was like, we got into a wreck, and I had to repeat it again just so it would register. It freaked me out. I cried all the way over here.
2 people in the car. The bus driver had to go to the hospital, but they are expected to be okay. Right now, police are still investigating exactly what caused that crash.
Time now 6:48. So if you've gotten gas recently, you may want to check your bank or card statements. Card skimmers have been found at gas stations in downtown Norfolk.
Erica Greenway here this morning to explain what you need to know so you don't become a victim. I feel like this one is really scary because you can do the right things and still fall victim.
Yep. Yeah, new technology making it so much more challenging for us. And this could really impact any of us. In fact, a lot of people may have been impacted by these skimmers last weekend. An estimated 300,000 people were expected to attend Harbor Fest in Norfolk. And right here in News 3, we discovered more than $15,000 in fraudulent charges on our station's cards after filling up news vehicles at these gas stations. It can happen to anyone using a credit or debit card to pay for gas. So how does this keep happening? We've all heard the advice, you jiggle the card readers at the gas pump, and if it's loose, there could be a skimmer attached, but it is not that simple anymore. Scammers are using new technology to try to take your money. And in fact, in Fairfax County, police have found a number of Bluetooth connected skimmers. These are hidden deep in the gas pump wires. And a new report out of Canada shared by the Better Business Bureau says there are new micro skimmers. They're called shimmers. So these microchips actually fit inside the card reader, and they can be installed quickly. You don't even know that they are there until your card feels a little bit sticky as you're pulling it out. Both of these devices can access your PIN. So here's how to protect yourself. Use a credit card and not a debit card that needs a PIN. That makes getting reimbursed easier. Also, avoid older gas pumps. Those are easier to break into. And check your bank and credit card statements regularly for any strange activity. We talked about how here at News 3 we were victims. Jessica, you were also impacted.
Yeah, and I always do the thing where you shake the card reader. You know, been doing that for years, and a few days later, it got hit for $200. Thank goodness Wells Fargo put my money back in there, but you really do have to be careful.
They're always finding new ways to try to take your money, so you have to be so careful.
So if I ask you to hold $20 till Friday, we're still good, right?
Yeah.
6:50. If you're headed out the door, stick with us. We have the top 3 things to know before you start your day. Miles Henderson has your one-word weather and a final update on traffic before 7 o'clock.
Also ahead on News 3 this morning, trading privacy for pizza. Would you do it? We explain the scenario and the shocking number of people who say yes.
I'd do almost anything for pizza. We've made it to 6:53, and now the top 3 things to know as you head out today. A heads up for drivers in Virginia Beach as repairs to Laskin Road start today. We're talking both directions between Bird Neck and Bayway Place. Crews are doing some repaving as well as structural repairs to the bridge there, so expect big delays while crews are out there. Work should wrap up in about 2 months.
Well, it is time to party with Pride. The 3rd annual Pride Party on the Peninsula goes down tonight at the Crown Plaza Hampton Marina Hotel in downtown Hampton at 5:30. The best part, you can party for free. New this year, the Drag Down the Riverboat cruise, but tickets for this event are limited. More information on all of Pride 2017 on WTKR.com.
Third thing to know today, it is going to be hot and humid, and we are tracking storms too. Miles Henderson with your one-word weather.
And today I had to get a little bit creative there, kind of combining 2 words. We're going to go with our 1 word today, sunbrella. You'll need your sunglasses in the morning, but your umbrella by the afternoon. So sunbrella, put them together. Today we're talking hot and humid once again.
The high rise, so that's probably part of that sun glare problem too. So be ready for that. Openings at the Gilmerton at 7:30 and 8 o'clock.
All right, if you value your privacy, tell your friends not to give out your email to strangers. Apparently all it takes is a pizza to get them to do it.
According to Market Watch researchers, they asked more than 3,000 MIT students for their closest friends' email addresses. When the researchers offered free pizza for the contacts, 98% of them gave it up.
However, even if they weren't offered a pizza, 94% gave the researchers their friends' emails anyway. What about your friends?
Right.
But 6% of the group gave fake email addresses.
I'm just going to say right now on live television, I will sell all of you out for a free pizza.
I mean,
in a heartbeat.
That pizza looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'd share.
I don't blame you.
Got your back.
All right, 6:56 right now.
Now I know what happened to my debit card. Making the switch to WGNT. We'll see you there at 7.
Innocent.
Oh, Blade.